Pagbilang mula sa 5, tayo'y muling aawit ng Mpbl na sa ating pagpapatuloy ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, coming to you live from the West Arena in Valenzuela, which means Valenzuela will be defending its home court later tonight for the second time in the season. But before that, we will begin things with Paranaque and Bacolod, two teams who are out of the playoff race already. But let's see if they can finish the season strong. Starting today in their matchup in Valenzuela. After that, we will have Batangas versus Makati. That's a very important game that has playoff implications. And then Bulacan will be challenging the home team, Valenzuela, in our main game. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez. Now, before I ask Coach Mike my question, I hope everybody's safe. Please make sure no, na kahit na pinaprioritize natin ang basketball, health first tayo dito sa ating bansa. Alright, now, Coach Mike, I ask you, what do you want to see from these two teams as they close their seasons?
Well, first off, itong Bacolod, we want to see them really finish it really strong here and finish it the right way. And so, ending up with wins in their last game. And then, of course, the side naman ng Paranaque, they actually have a chance to play spoilers in their next game against Quezon. And if they win today, that's going to be a 3-game win streak and a good motivation for them to go to that 4th win streak if possible and be the spoiler against Quezon.
Well, it's never too late to build something good for yourselves here in the 5th season of the Mpbl. Now, we do thank you for joining us live on MPTV Channel 98, on Signal TV, and also on our live streams on Facebook and on YouTube. So, to fully understand our playoff picture, Coach Mike Perez will be breaking down our team standings first with the North Division. Coach Mike, what's happening?
Well, I think the North Division is pretty much locked, no? Pampanga and Nueva Ecija locking down the top 2 spots. Samantalang mamaya yung game natin, the second one, which is going to be Makati versus Batangas, that's gonna have implications too, at least on the placing standpoint. Makati, if they win, they would complicate the situation of Jensan versus Batangas. And, you know, everything else really just falling into place. And ready na lahat ng team sa Norte ngayon maglaban-laban. And it depends on the results of today's games too.
How about in the South Division? What's happening there?
Well, sa South naman, it's pretty much Bacoor at number 1. Pero yung number 2 and number 3, medyo may paglalabanan pa yan, no? Between Batangas and Jensan Warriors. Of course, Zamboanga must win in their next game against Bacoor to avoid any complications against Jensan. Samantalang itong Quezon naman must win against at least one game between the Marikina and Paranaque para to at least ma-secure nila yung number 3 spot. All in all, it's really just a matter of seedings, but you know, the top 4 teams would really enjoy that advantage.
But then again, the matter of seedings means home court advantage come the playoffs, so importante po talaga yan. And we can't also forget about the fact that come the finals, the better seeding team will also have home court advantage. So iniisip pa rin ng teams from the north ang teams from the south and vice versa. So now let's talk about the previous game of the Paranaque Patriots, which happened in this venue. And boy, did they play spoilers in the first home game of Val City.
Yeah, and even though the Paranaque Patriots already bowed out in the playoff race, still with Valenzuela playing in their home court, the Patriots denied them that win. They pulled away for good in the 4th quarter, outscoring Valenzuela 23-14. Umali had 12 points, 3 other guys scoring in double digits, Galliano, Castro, and Solis, all ending up with 10 points in that win by the Paranaque Patriots.
It was actually a bit hard selecting the best player because of the distribution of points, and so we gave it to their facilitator in Keith Pido.
Yeah, well, one thing, if you look at the stats now, they were very efficient actually in that game, having only 10 turnovers, and of course, better shooting percentage at 44%. The assist, of course, that triangle offense system working in that game. They had 26 versus that of 20, but the points in the paint really did them well in that game leading up to that win.
I like that you pointed out the turnovers first because 10 turnovers really is low in this league. Just so everybody knows, so Makati is number 1 in the league in turnovers per game and they only average 12. So ganun po ka-efficient ang Paranaque in their previous outing. Kabila naman para sa Bacolod City of Smiles. This is their last game of the season, so we are definitely going to miss them. But they did not miss their previous game as they lost to Pampanga.
Yeah, that was their 3rd straight defeat in that last game, losing to Pampanga, a huge one. Well, because of that latest slump, it caused them to fall out of the race in the playoffs for the division. They trailed as much as 8.5, even as high as 18. The good thing is, Luis Koga had 13 points, Don Mark Matoliano had 12. Alfred Cedillo had 11, and Chris Menguez had 10 points in that game. As we look at the stats, not really very good shooting. That's at 39% only from the field, and 45 rebounds against a 57. That's a minus 12 on the rebounds altogether, which led to a huge disparity in points in the paint, 60 and 38.
Now, obviously, it's been a very tough season for Bacolod. Marami silang ups and downs in terms of their lineups. Marami ring nawala sa kanilang roster. So let's see if they can finish strong here in Valenzuela. Now we turn you over to Miguel Pere for our starting lineups.
3, 2. Mpbl Season 5 presented by Extreme. It's Paranaque versus Bacolod. Live on the official Mpbl Facebook page, YouTube channel, and on MPTV Signal Channel 98. Time to meet the starters. First, for Paranaque Patriots. Starting at guard, number 33, Carl Baclay. At guard, number 11, Keith Pido. Starting at center, number 42, Lian Martel. At small forward, number 23, Joshua Galliano. And the other forward, number 41, J-Boy Solis. Head coach for Paranaque Patriots is Mike Sagigit. Assistant coaches Stephen Mopera, Barry Tobias, Lito Aguilar, Saik Miguelino, and Olan Santos. Team manager is Jamal Vizcara. Team owner is Paranaque City Honorable Vice Mayor Joan Villafuerte. Now, the starting five for Bacolod, City of Smiles. Starting at center, number 15, Justin Alano. At guard, number 55, Yusei Koga. Also at guard, number 22, Puroy Cantimbuhan. Power forward, number 29, Chris Menguez. And a small forward, number 8, the Iceman, Domark Matiliano. Head coach for Bacolod City of Smiles is Vinci Salvador, assisted by Siegfried Levida. Team manager is Ross Kenneth Alvarez. Team representative is Paul San Jose.
We have the starters for Paranaque and Bacolod. It's Carl Baclay with Keith Pido, Lian Martel, Joshua Galliano, and J-Boy Solis for the Patriots. And then we have Yusei Koga, John Catimbuhan, Justin Alano, Domar Matiliano, and Chris Menguez for Bacolod, City of Smiles. Now we do have to give some facts here. And it's Yusei Koga actually being joined by Justin Alano and Chris Menguez in the starting lineup. I had to highlight those three players, Coach Mike, because they're actually playing against their former team here in the Mpbl. Mga dating Patriots po yan. Obviously, throughout the years, dahil 5 years na nga po ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. No? Let's see if they can be even more motivated today. As Cantimbuhan got the steal, and there's the touchdown for Justin Alano.
Well, pretty much in the open floor talagang. It is one of the strengths actually of itong Bacolod. They have really good guards. Alfred Cedillo, Yusei Koga, John Catimbuhan, and even Don Mark Matiliano can run it out in the open. It's really just a matter of them controlling those defensive board and pushing that out there. And I mean, let's face it, it's very difficult to be going up against teams with really dominant bigs. And I think that's one thing that's lacking when you talk about the Bacolod team.
Sayan sa mga koponan kung saan nag-transition yung mga power forwards nila into being centers in the league. They only have one true center in Mark Sarangay, who's going to be coming off the bench in this game. Nice pass by Solis onto Josh Galliano.
Tama ka doon, tsaka kailangan talaga ng tulong din ni Mark in the middle. And so they're one other big man away from being, I guess, very competitive against the other teams.
A lot of people can argue that Bacolod actually had a good lineup, a good roster at the start of the season. And if it wasn't for their losses, remember the time when they lost Alan Mangahas, James Mangahas, Harold, what's his last name? Arboleda. And Mac Montilla. Sabay-sabay yun. Then recently, they lost Val Chauca. It's been that painful for Bacolod. As Koga answers back for the City of Smiles.
And those are key pieces para dito sa Bacolod. I mean, talking those names that we mentioned, the Mangahas brothers and all those other guys, really talagang makaka-contribute na maayos yun, di ba?
Akala ko sasabihin mo, Maangas brothers eh.
Although they're not, sobrang bait na magkapatid na yan.
Yusei Koga is off to a good start in this game. That's back-to-back three-pointers for him.
Even if you look at the games of Bacolod, their games are actually, you know, pretty close. They're on the
Yes.
average. They're losing by as much as 11 points lang. And considering, depleted yung lineup nila altogether. But still, this is a very decent showing by Bacolod.
This is the three-pointer coming from Ryusei Koga, who I was able to talk to before this game. And he did say that because of those losses throughout the season, one of the biggest lessons for Bacolod has been how do you keep your team together? Despite all of these changes, much like how Coach Mike Sagigit has done it for the Paranaque Patriots, by the way. Itong Bacolod, may coaching changes pa.
Right. And then there's just too many moving pieces to be able to start any momentum and start with any good foundation. At least if you're Bacolod, the good thing is you got to compete against the other teams. If they won over Muntinlupa and they won even over Sarangani and Marikina. Those teams are very formidable too.
3-on-1 situation. Galliano hands it off. That's 2 easy points for J-Boy Solis.
Much as we talk about the guard rotation of itong Bacolod, you too gotta go back in defense if the other team starts running.
Well, you talked about Bacolod having the strength of running. I'm sure you'd argue the same for Paranaque. As Matiliano, the former three-point king of the Mpbl, makes one from downtown. It's just a bit sad though for Domark because he was supposed to get back-to-back titles if it wasn't for that last money ball that he missed. And so Orlan Momar got the crown.
Yeah, and Orlan Momar really backing it up in that last game. Woo,
oh
those
yeah,
3-pointers in that game. I was watching you guys. Man, I wish I was there.
I'm sure a lot of people missed that wish that they were there. But then again, we congratulate Nueva Ecija for winning on their home floor, and we congratulate Domark Matiliano for making back-to-back three-pointers.
It's exactly what they have to do if they want to win this very last game. You got to play to your strengths, and right now, 3-point sniping outside from Domark is going to be a key factor if you want to get this win today.
The score is 14-10 with 6 minutes and 18 in the opening frame. That's a sorry miss by Joshua Galliano. There was a foul off of that rebound sequence.
Yeah, tama ka dun. Very sorry on this. Joshua's pretty much solid underneath that close inside. How about this beautiful kick here by Ryusei? Just a flare and a drift to the corner. Denmark just letting that ball go in.
By the way, we have to encourage the players as Baklay got that putback to go. Encourage the players to be wary of the sideline here in Valenzuela because the paint on the court is the same color as the outside.
Oh yeah.
So medyo deceiving po yung sideline natin. Maraming beses tawagan ng out of bounds. Ang hindi man lang namamalayan ng players na outside na pala sila.
It matters na magkaroon ka ng 20/20 vision just like me. I got 2 extra pairs of glasses to make it 20/20. Yeah, that is very deceiving. Yung ganyang, same color yung outside and inside the floor.
Carl Baklay will now take a breather. Pasok dito for Paranaque si AJ Hunsay, and Koy Alves will also be checking in. He's also a former Paranaque Patriot himself. Bacolod sticks with its zone. It's Steve Pido staying patient. Nice pass to Galliano who fakes and drives. And what happened there? It's a 3-second violation against Paranaque.
Well, to Paranaque, actually, it could have been one of the teams that we were actually looking up to early in the season. Really good rotation, plus that good system by Coach Mike Sagigit. But, the teams in the North Division really caused them problems. They've had problems on all the top 10 teams in the North. That's been their bane, really. And medyo nahirapan sila to get back in rhythm when we got into those games against the North team.
As much as we've argued, as Koy Alves makes a jumper, we've argued the chemistry of these players sa Paranaque dahil nga halos lahat nanggaling sa Olivares, may mga iba nanggaling sa Perpetual. So alam na ang sistema ni Coach Mike Sagigit. Yung timing naman ng pagdating ng mga players, hindi nagtugma.
Right.
Especially for the Olivares mainstays in Joshua Galliano, Carl Baklay, and also John Uvali as Pido makes a jumper of his own. And then, so late na nga yung tatlong Olivares players na yun. Maaga namang umalis yung Perpetual players.
That's
sina
right.
Mark Omega and number 99, Jello Razon.
And mga key pieces rin yun para kay Coach Mike Sagigit. I mean, but the good thing about them is they got Alex Honsay joining their team also. But look for Paranaque to be so much better the next season.
Right now, Bacolod is so much better in 3-point shooting at 5 out of 9. Paranaque wala pang attempt on downtown. John Umali might make a difference in that category as he now checks in alongside Alfred Cedillo of Bacolod. Galliano will now step out for a while. Score is 19-12. Credit again the 3-point shooting of Yusei Koga and company for this advantage. Matiliano will go to Koy Alves. Former Patriot. Backing down. How about that move? We don't see that every day from Koy.
Yeah, you don't see that every day since he's playing for Bacolod. It's a different system. But back when he was playing for Paranaque under Coach Mike, he's really used to getting that ball on the post. And a lot of the activity and actually on that offense really happens in the post.
You think that's because of the triangle offense?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, when we were watching the Bulls, the Lakers, even the Alaska Aces back in the day, yes, kahit nga yung mga shooting guards, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant posted up a lot. Of course, we can't expect Koy Alves to be like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, but seeing flashes of him doing that, we'll take that here.
That's why I really like when they got Alex Onsai here for the Paranaque Patriots, because he does a lot of mid-post action on his offensive side. He's a really good passer too, very willing. And then si Alex Onsai.
And AJ is coming from St. Clair.
Yep.
So he's not a part of that group that came from Olivares or Perpetual. Almost a steal there. Stevens diving for that ball. Now we are used to seeing that. Andretti Stevens on the ground.
Boy, Andretti Stevens really using basketball as a story of his, getting back on track in life. We all know that his dad just passed away a couple of weeks ago, and Andretti's been very close with his dad, and you could almost feel every time on his post how much he misses his dad. And I guess basketball really is sanctuary to most of us, and now at this point, this is really where Andretti Stevens is.
Did you know if his dad was a coach to him at some point in his life?
Yeah, he's been teaching and coaching and being a motivator to Andretti Stevens. He's been showing some of the reminders of his dad to him every time pre-game. To keep battling and to keep performing for the team. And knowing Andretti, he's got a really close-knit family, and that's just what makes that relationship with his dad even more special.
I actually have an observation that a lot of people might not agree to because it's very relative. I tend to notice that second-generation basketball players, as AJ Hunsai makes a layup off of the steal, the second-generation basketball players tend to be highly skillful on one aspect, either on offense or on defense. Prime example, Franzabuda of Rizal. Depensa yun. Stevens himself is a defensive player. I would think of other examples like LaMelo Ball, who obviously is a nice offensive player. And so, if you have thoughts on that, feel free to ride on it, Coach. But then again, it's just an observation.
Yeah, but that's a good observation because relative to that, Kevon Looney in one of the videos, he was having a workout with Russell Westbrook. He too said that everybody wants to do a lot of things in a basketball game, and in the team, you just got to find that one spot where you're going to be really good and be an expert in there, and which is exactly what Kevon has done. He's been really excellent on hustle situations and rebounds. Now really a pure scorer. You get him to score, that's a bonus for you. But at least you have to have that one specialty, which, going back to your point, just one aspect of the game could help out a lot of players.
Kevon Looney is such a good example in that category. Inside scoring natin 12-2 in favor of Paranaque, as now Paulo Castro drains the jumper.
Paulo Castro could be a streaky shooter too. I've seen this guy go 10-12 points in a row. Shooter, medium range jumper, out on a fast break. You can do that too. Marks inside the floor now.
But that's the tricky part of being streaky. You can be streaky making shots. You can also be streaky and missing shots.
Right.
Which can be the case for Paulo from time to time.
Right.
Speaking of streaky shooters, Umali just missed his first two in this matchup. And last time that we saw him in this venue, he was the absolute silencer against Valenzuela.
And, for you to be streaky, you have to forget about that last attempt. You gotta focus on the current one. And short-term memory nga, sabi nila sa mga scorers and mga shooters. But still, if you take him, you have to be able to make them.
22-16 now. Albert Cedillo. There's the roller.
Oh,
Mark Sarangay. By the way, Mark Sarangay has come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
In the season. Ever since his minutes increased for Bacolod, he has certainly delivered.
Yeah, at saka yung like we said, no, medyo kulang man in the middle itong Bacolod, but he's really been that one big man that's filled that spot for Bacolod. And kita mo naman kanina on that roll, despite through traffic, he's able to finish and get that basket.
Dominic Matiliano, by the way, already has 11 points in this game. And you can attribute a lot of those to his three-point shooting. Matiliano is 3 out of 4 from downtown so far. So that layup was actually his first two-pointer.
Actually, itong mga players ng Bacolod, if you put them in some of the top teams, really could be very potent.
Exactly. And this is the perfect example. Andretti Stevens, I imagine him being a defensive specialist from one of our top contenders in the whole of the Mpbl.
Right. It's just going to be night in and night out, checking on the top players of the other team, trying to stop them and give them a hard time inside the floor.
There's a foul inside. John Oduba got hacked by Mark Sarangay.
Yeah, I like that matchup too. Mark Sarangay and Oduba.
They seem to like the matchup as well because after that hit by Sarangay, they were both laughing at each other. Yun naman yung maganda sa mga wala nang bearing na games, no? Yung mga players natin,
medyo loose.
Loose na.
Loose na once.
Enjoy na lang. Yes, you have something to prove, pero at least wala nang nagkakainitan. Speaking of nagkakainitan, I hope everybody was able to watch that San Juan versus Nueva Ecija game.
Oh, yeah.
Yun ang epitome ng, alam mong may pressure sa mga players.
But you know what? You could actually notice the change in some of the screens of Nueva Ecija. They've done very little post action. A lot of them more on the drag screens from the top. And really was why you saw Collado hitting those threes from the outside.
Jay Collado, again, turning out to be clutch. As one of the veterans of this team. AJ Hunsay with a steal. Nice counter tap by Andretti Stevens, who went straight to our cameraman. I hope he's okay.
Seems to be okay. Andretti's one of the most solid guys and tough in his physique. Look at that. Ball tap from behind. And kids, you could learn something or two here from Andretti Stevens. If you get beat defensively, you got to run back and try to tap that ball from behind.
Oh, I have absolutely no doubt as the first quarter ends that Andretti Stevens is a strong guy. I was concerned about the cameraman.
I don't know about him.
Yeah, he looks to be okay.
Yeah.
Mabigat na mga dala-dala niya mga yan.
Yeah.
What a high-scoring first quarter this was, by the way. 29-18 after one. Mark Matiliano against Pampanga had 12 points with 6 boards and 4 dimes. So that game actually happened in Bataan. He had to stay there because he also competed in the three-point shootout in the All-Star Day. Speaking of three-point shooting, how about that? 75% from downtown so far in this game.
Yeah, it's really how he shoots the ball. He's very, very quiet yung upper body action niya. Really just catching that ball and making a very small, short dip. Getting that follow through in and just using those legs as a good balance when he takes those shots.
I was actually hoping for a good answer when I asked Domar Matiliano kung naapektuhan ba yung three-point shooting niya on the court because of his three-point shootout success. And he said, wala eh. Pareho lang naman yung touches ko. Wala naman ako pinipilit. Kung ano yung meron, yun ang titira ko. Which actually was the story last year. He wasn't supposed to be a star for Muntinlupa, but because of his minutes and his number of shots presented to him, as Solis makes a shot himself, Domar Matiliano rose to the occasion last year.
As we saw the 8 points of AJ Solis. Look here, first quarter shooting 8 of 19 and 10 of 15. Both teams relatively doing pretty well on the field, but it's really Bacolod shooting so much better at 66%.
32-20 Solis. That was obviously ill-intended right there.
Now here's one guy who could actually score, Alfred Cedillo.
And he's had his moments a ton of times already in the season. Maganda rin ang kwento niyan, si Alfred, who had to be away from basketball for a while after having a stint with Pasay a couple of years back. Now there's a foul on Andretti Stevens.
Yeah, and si Alfred's always been known to be a shoot-first guy, kahit na at sometimes he, gets the point guard chores. See this three right here. Hit by Alfred.
Paulo Castro on the other end misses. Rebound Mark Sarangay, who is number 5 in the league in boards per outing. That's 8.7 rebounds per game for Mark Sarangay, with 3 coming on the offensive glass. And I really wanted to highlight that because it's been a while since we have seen him in the top 10 in rebounding. As now, Magbanwa just scored for Bacolod.
Well, Magbanwa did a good read against that 1-2-2 zone. Saw that corner fill, but that corner guy was closing out on that fill. So he just had that open lane for that drive right through the rack.
This might just be a tryout for Carl Magbanwa himself, who is a homegrown of Bacolod. This is their last game after all. Magbanwa will catch, fake, drive, and will now proceed to the stripe.
Really is getting, most of the minutes that's given him. Magbanwa, like you said, could be a tryout for the guy, lalo na as they prepare for the next season. And I'd like to see Bacolod come up a little bit, so much, more offensive-minded and defensively more equipped. Para they can at least catch up, lalo na against the big teams. Because, medyo decent rin naman kahit papaano yung naging showing nila. It's just that there were other really tougher games against tougher teams.
Maraming almost para sa Bacolod. At sabi nga ni Ariana Grande, almost is never enough. 36-21. I'm not expecting you to be able to relate to that, Coach Mike.
I was gonna ask you who Ariana is, but now I remember my daughter mentioned that to me. So.
Oh, if you have a daughter, you should know Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Ito yung mga reference na kami ni Habi, Juanito. Yan ang mga kami makaka-relate dyan. Si Coach Louie Gonzalez baka hindi rin. Hindi ko Salva pwede pa. There's a foul on the post-up sequence. That's on Clarence Singh.
A little bit of post-up action there for Mark.
Joshua Galliano returns for Paranaque. Baseline inbound tayo. Andretti Stevens. They go to Alfred Cedillo. Alfred taking his time. Pull it pass inside. And there it is. Successful for Koy Alves.
Well, that back end of the zone's been quite a concern for Coach Mike Saguier so far. Maraming beses nalulustan sila through that, but really good three here by Joshua Galliano. He's one of those guys who can hit it from way outside too.
And that's a badly needed three by Paranaque because the lead was already at 18. It's now 38-23. Bacolod really showing out today.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hit. Just pure hustle by Andretti.
Yeah, Pastor was able to pick himself up.
Rebound Uduba. And here comes John. Forward, Pido, Galliano. No basket. And John Uduba was fouled.
Yan ang nagugustuhan ni Coach Mike Sagigit kay John Uduba. He actually can run the floor and be an offensive threat too in fast break situations. So in case they miss, he was an option to get those glass cleaned up.
Actually, This is good for John Oduba because this is a guy who has been hounded by injuries. And drastic injuries, by the way.
Yep.
Yung tipong kailangan ng operations. That's multiple times already for John, and so his career has suffered. Gotta give props to him for keeping at it with basketball. Just missed his first free throw though. Second one for Mr. Oduba is good. 38-24, 6 minutes and 30 in the second. There's the press break for Bacolod. Cedillo, by the way he plays, he looks so calm.
Yeah. Ano yan eh, kalmanteng gwardiya na kaya kang iskoran.
Oo, at malaking gwardya.
Malaking gwardiya. Right?
As Sarangay muscles his way through.
Boy, you just could feel the upper body strength of Sarangay right there. Not minding the defense of John Oduba.
Galliano on the other end misses. Alves goes down. Sarangay now gets the ball. Now they go to Andretti Stevens. Back to Cedillo. We were just talking about how calm he has been. Dati nga, power forward pa yan sa Bacolod eh. This is actually one of the few times that I'm seeing him as a point guard.
Yeah, at least, I guess yun yung mas comfortable na position nitong si Alfred Cedillo.
Now, we present to you this exceptional pass of the game brought to you by Paranaque de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the Mpbl. Nice feed onto Mark Sarangay, who thought he was fouled.
Yeah, everybody got caught up with Alfred Cedillo trying to fill that corner on the ball side. They totally forgot the back end of the offense.
40-24. Keith Pido to J-Boy Solis. Pass onto Galliano, and then Josh was fouled on his attack.
Well, much as Bacolod's been, Patriots rather, been playing zone, pati rin ng Bacolod, they're actually just playing the 2-3 zone. And really, makikita mo is the back end of that zone that's really usually the point of attack for most coaches because, you know, yun yung hindi nakikita eh. Kaya ang attack mo normally sa likod.
I actually like that you're highlighting that because usually when you see a 2-3 zone, you jack up three-pointers.
Right.
And as we know, that's not the only solution.
Correct.
A lot of people don't know the back door, just so everybody is aware. Panoorin nyo to and how these teams counter the 2-3 zone. 40-25, under 5.5 minutes. Cedillo giving that ball back to Magbanwa. Carl in trouble, now he escapes. Kick out, Andretti Stevens with 7 on the shot clock. Back to 5 seconds, Andretti, jump shot is good.
Wow.
And he has a guitar celebration, much like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen him knock down those threes, and I'm sure his dad, from wherever he's watching, surely should be happy with how Andretti's playing this game.
This might just be a good dedication game, though, for Andretti. But he's gonna have to get best player honors to complete that mission.
Right.
Yun yung mga magagandang kwento natin dito sa MPBL. Yung alam mong may iba pang purpose yung player.
Paglalaro, yeah.
43-25. For 5 minutes in the second. Keith Pido. On to the right. Carl Baclay with his version of a 1-2. No conversion. And we go back Bacolod's way.
Couldn't come up with a really good momentum heading up to that jump stop. Really a little bit awkward there for Baclay.
Offensive rebound for Magbanwa. Nice pass. Sarangay taking his time. No basket.
Oh, good help there.
Sarangay thought he was fouled, but now he will have to walk back or even jog back to play defense on the mismatch. Sarangay still not going down.
Beautiful ball movement right there by the Patriots, really trying to find the open man, find the guy that's least guarded, and if you're that man, you got to take that shot and you have to be able to make it, exactly what J-Boy Solis just did.
43-27 now. Field goals shooting, normalizing a bit for Paranaque. Kabila naman for Bacolod, they're still at 62%, but now they're starting to miss. Pido, no foul there.
Ball hit the foot of Pido, pero going back to that action, earlier on that post-up by Mark Sarangay, makita mo na push out na nila si Mark, mas malayo na eh, hindi na yung naka-low block eh. But then again, ang lakas ng katawan ni Mark, so he can just keep on shoving, going down deeper.
Nangangalabaw lang talaga.
Oh, yeah.
At sa lagay na yun, malaki na si Lian Martel.
You're right, correct.
He seems to be smaller as compared to Mark Sarangay. The score now is 43-27. 3 minutes and 35 in the second. Here's Puroy Kantimbuhan against Paulo Castro.
Ito si Puroy, he can actually go on his own scoring streaks too.
That's for sure. Yan ang kasama ni Domart who rose to fame last year.
Yeah.
Alam mo yan dahil...
And I was there, I was watching those games.
Number 1 fan ka ng Muntinlupa last year eh.
I was there. In fact, one of the other players is not actually hasn't suited up yet. Si Harvey Quinto used to be our player in San Beda, Alabama.
Ooh.
He played last year.
Yeah, I remember him. Limited minutes din siya last year pero effective naman kapag nasa court.
Right.
Point guard, no?
Yeah,
Si
point
Harvey.
guard.
Just like this guy. San Beda rin to dati.
Yep.
Si Yusei Koga. Was he his player, your player before?
No, but he's an older batch compared to the years when I coached.
Oh, matanda na yan si Yusei. Matanda na yan. Before nga this game, I was talking to him and while we were conversing, the Paranaque players walked by. And then the players of the Patriots were calling him Kuya Yusei. Which obviously was a funny moment kasi dati siya yung bata eh. As Koga misses inside, but Kuya Mark Sarangay was there for the cleanup.
Pero ibang klase to si Ryusei Koga. As we see Mark Sarangay hitting another basket right there. Si Ryusei, sobrang bilis nito. Nung una ko nakita to sa San Beda, Alabang. I mean, he was so quick. He jumped so high. I had to ask the coaches of San Beda. Then happens to be James Tolentino. Sabi ko, Coach, sino yan?
Ah, talaga?
Yan si Ryusei. Oo, siya pala si Ryusei.
Napabilib ah. At di mo na makakalimutan yung pangalan na yun.
Yeah.
Kasi mahirap banggitin eh. Nice block by Chris Benguez. There was a foul called against Paranaque after that.
Yeah. And one of his younger brothers, I think it was Rense Heralao, also, became a player of ours.
Who? You say his younger brother?
Yeah, I think it was Rense. Younger brother or cousin? Parang ganun.
I'm not surprised that the name is also complicated.
Yeah. Magaling rin yung batang yun.
By the way, I want to take this time to greet my friend Andrew Yu. Ayan, hindi komplikado ang pangalan niya ni Andrew. Pero isa pa yan, magaling din yan. Shooter din yan when I play with him. Shout out to you, Andrew. But right now, we are in Valenzuela with the score reading 45-27. A minute and 50 remaining before halftime. At may timeout tayo dito. So we will be taking a short break. Bacolod is off to a good start. Let's see what Coach Mike has in order to counter for Paranaque. And there you see our Mpbl VIPs, Emer Oreta, Satar Macantal, with Rudy Distrito and George Magsino. Big props to them, obviously, for what they have done all season long. Lalo na si Boss Emer, kasi inayos na talaga yung schedule natin in such a way na yung mga crucial games ay nasa dulo ng season.
Hanggang sa dulo na games, no? Nagmamatter talaga. In fact, even yung Batangas versus Gensan game, I think, gonna be crucial too.
The one later, Batangas versus Makati.
Makati, right.
As Pido scores on the mid-range. By the way, we also can't forget about that Valenzuela versus Bulacan game tonight. As much as there are no playoff implications anymore in that matchup, it's a story game for Valenzuela. There's so much passion behind it, obviously from Congressman Eric Gonzalez and the rest of the homegrowns of Val City. So watch out for that. Oh, that's a costly mistake. There's a sorry sequence for Joshua Galliano. It's been a sorry first half, by the way, for
That's
Paranaque.
right. That's right. And I'm sure Coach Mike Sagigit would still want to get to that third game winning streak to end this quarter before heading into that Quezon game.
I like that you pointed that out in the pregame. Imagine if you would beat Quezon in Quezon
Right.
and end your season on a 4-game winning streak. That's all you want. So you can carry on that momentum to next season, which I won't be surprised, by the way, if this score would be the same for Coach Mike Sagigit. Now he will be calling for time, 45-29. We're back inside the West Arena in Valenzuela. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach Mike Perez at your service for today. We have Bacolod versus Paranaque at hand. 1 minute to go before halftime. Domark Matiliano passes on to Chris Menges. Back to Domark. Oh, he's left wide open. That's the last guy that you want to leave wide open.
Yeah, and that's the 9th three-pointer made in the first half alone para dito sa Bacolod. 9 of 17 so far.
And of those 9, 4 came from the previous 3-point king, because the current 3-point king is now Orlan Wamar. 48-29, 8 on the shot clock. John Umali, who also participated in the 3-point shootout. Cross court, 2 on the shot clock. Galliano, nice defense. That's 2 blocks for Chris Menges in this quarter alone, forcing the 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, good defense right there. Didn't get to bite on that fake and a little escape dribble.
They have a timeout for Bacolod. And so, we will be waiting for the last play before halftime. We're setting up something for you guys. A story that can be relevant to a lot of teams in the MPBL. Our cameraman is on it, our director is on it, and there you see the Tita squad of the Paranaque Patriots. My story, folks, is gonna start with the fact that Mr. Olan Santos is the head of this Tita squad team. And as you can see, 6 po sila. I want to give a shout out to them. Mami Nitz, Ate Parida, Ate Lisbeth, Ate Vilma, Ate Lynn, and Ate Aida. They never missed a game in this season for Paranaque. You know, it actually started as an accident because at the start of the season, the first game of Paranaque was in Muntinlupa. Malapit lang. Dahil doon, na-encourage itong mga tita na to na sama na tayo, malapit lang naman eh. Because of that, they fell in love with the MPBL and they went to the rest of the games of Paranaque. You can see just how happy they are.
They're very animated too, and it's such a good side. Things that you miss on a live game.
Shout out again to the Tita squad. Now we are down to the last 13 seconds. Thank you, Direk, for that shot. Here's John Puroy Cantimbuhan stepping back. No basket. Rebound Mark Sarangay. And he was hounded again. It's been a very busy afternoon for Mr. Sarangay.
Yeah, and half of that is just how he puts his body in a position to be able to get to clean those glasses. And John Dobas, hindi madaling basta i-box out yan, but you position yourself correctly and put in enough power on that move, you'll be ending up with how Mark's been playing so far against John.
Well, obviously easier said than done.
Yeah.
But still, you can hope for that. I hope there's a camera near us because mahirap makuha to, no? Nasa bandalikod din ng shoulder, ng kanang shoulder ni Mark Sarangay. May mga scratches na po siya. It's been that physical for him in this game already. Last second tayo. Mark Sarangay picks it up. And so that will do it for the first half of Paranaque versus Bacolod here in Valenzuela. Coach Mike, how about this start for Yusei Koga and company?
Yeah, really good start, really good ball rotation, shots calling from the outside, and Donald Mark's been hitting his threes from outside and really just opening things up para dito sa Bacolod.
All right, folks, a 21-point game it is at halftime, and now we lead you into our Mpbl 2023 All-Star Day highlights. Excitement begins here at the Bataan People Center in Bataan, Bataan. Welcome to the 2023 Mpbl All-Star.
Kasama ko nga ngayon si Commissioner Kenneth Dorimdes. Commissioner, ano naman po ang nararamdaman nyo ngayong ating 2023 Mpbl All-Star?
Well, of course, we're excited for this All-Star. At alam naman natin yung mga fans natin dito sa Bataan na excited na rin na mapanood ang kanilang mga paborito mga players dito sa MPBL. And also, yung ating founder maglalaro today. Hindi naman natin sila pinasasalamatan, yung mga diehard fans ng MPBL, yung mga team owners, executives na nandito ngayon na sumusuporta pa rin sa liga natin. And lahat ng mga involved dito sa MPBL on our 5th season, tuloy-tuloy pa rin, and hopefully lalo pa pong sasaya tayo sa mga upcoming season natin. So maraming salamat sa inyong suporta.
Alright, thank you so much din po. Once again, that is our very own Commissioner Kenneth Dorimdes.
Kasama ko po ngayon ang pinakamamahal na founder ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Walang iba kung hindi si Senator Manny Pacquiao. Sen, congratulations po. Pang-apat na All-Star na po natin ito, no? Ano pong nasa isip nyo ngayong araw na to?
Ang naisip namin ay panalo namin itong game namin dito at saka sana manalo rin ng South, and then also sa lahat ng mga viewers, sa lahat ng mga supporters ng NPBL, ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino, maraming salamat po sa inyong walang sawang pagsuporta at pagmamahal.
Who finished the game with a triple double? The one and the only fighting senator, Boxing's Hall of Famers, the People's Champ, ang papansaka mo, our beloved MPBL founder, Senator Manny Pacquiao! Our extreme three-point shootout champion, Orlan Gomar! Unfortunately, it's a no-go for Poy Poy Octube, and we'll have to see the scores now for Poy Poy. Bataan, can we give a big round of applause to our three finalists for giving us an amazing show in the slam dunk contest? But obviously, the crown will belong to the guy from the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Our champion is DJ Ganya.
And now, the OKBet 2023 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL All-Star Game winner, the North All-Stars. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 All-Star Game MVP, Justin Baldi Baltasar.
Sa mga bata po yan, hindi po sa akin yan. So, nandito ako to give motivation sa mga bata. Hindi yung ilabas yung mga skills nila, iwala nila sa sarili. Yun po yung ginagawa ko sa mga bata.
Nagpapasalamat po ang lalawigan ng Bataan na napili po para mag-host ng ating All-Star Exhibition Games dito po sa aming lalawigan for the first time. Talagang nag-enjoy po ang lahat dito sa napaka-exciting na competition.
Nag-enjoy ako at maraming salamat sa masaya-masaya ako dahil sa suporta ng mga basketball fan, lalo na sa iba't ibang sulok ng bansa na nanonood sila at nakasuporta dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino.
It is halftime here in Valenzuela for Paranaque versus Bacolod. And yes, folks, that is the score. 50-29. Bacolod just shot the ball lights out. 53% and 50% from downtown. Imagine that, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and they've not been getting enough help from the bench. Look at that bench points disparity. 28 versus that of 7, including the 21-17 rebound advantage. Plus, notable dito yung 50% shooting sa 3 points, to which half of that for Bacolod really came from Don Mark himself.
The 3-point attempts of Paranaque is equal to the 3-point makes of Bacolod. That's already a +8 times 3, so that's a +24
Right.
in that department alone. Pardon us for doing so much math here at the sidelines, by the way. Minsan lang naman na dalawang engineer ang magkatabi dito sa gilid-gilid. And so we do congratulate Andretti Stevens and company for having a good start. The question is, can they sustain this, as it is Bacolod's last game of the season? J-Boy Solis and company, hindi pa naman last game para sa kanila, but they do want to build on some momentum before they face Quezon in Quezon. Solis has 8 points to lead the way for Paranaque. Kabila naman, it's the former 3-point king of the Mpbl, Domark Matiliano, who already made 4 3-pointers in the first half. He has 14 in total for Bacolod.
Well, when you talk about that first half, really one thing that you cannot just ignore is the fact that para dito sa Patriots, you rarely see them being down on bench points kasi there are a lot of talent that's coming out of that bench para kay Coach Mike Sagigit. But if you have Paulo Castro going out of 1 out of 3 in 10 minutes of action, Joshua Galliano going just 2 out of 8 for 13 minutes of action, and John O'Malley going 0 out of 5 in 6 minutes of action, you're not gonna get enough production from the bench if you're the Paranaque team.
Sa lagay na yan, naka-zone ang Bacolod.
Right. Naka-zone pa yan, which is, I guess, favorable for people like, John O'Malley and Joshua Galliano, because those guys can actually knock down shots from the outside. And Coach Mike has actually sets to go up against the zone.
Which makes things ironic so far in this matchup. Then again, if you're a Bacolod fan, you have to be very happy, especially for Domark Matilian, who just made back-to-back baskets.
Well, half of that has to go to Justin Alano. Perfect pass on that 45 cut by Don Mark, just recognizing players cutting and giving them those opportunities to score.
Justin Alano, let me check his assists total. Hindi naman karamihan yan. 2 assists, but still very, very effective he has been. Baseline inbound tayo para kay John O'Malley. But this was the pass leading to the finish for Domark.
Yeah, it actually came from the backcourt. It wasn't even a complete half-court set. He led that pass into Justin and made that cut straight from the backcourt.
Finally, John O'Malley has made a 3-pointer. That's his first make in 5 tries. Again, the last time that we saw him in Valenzuela was against Valenzuela, and he was near perfect from downtown. Matiliano, again, he's the last guy that you would want to leave open. He just misfired.
Yeah, kaya Pido had to rotate from the guard spot all the way to that corner para lang to challenge that shot. He's one guy that needs to make his shots, and thankfully he does for Paranaque.
Well, we mentioned he is a streaky shooter. So his streak in the first half was a streak of misses. Now it's a streak of makes.
Yeah, that's his first field goal out of 7 attempts so far in this game.
Second field goal.
Second.
54-35 under 8 minutes in the third. Andretti Stevens against John O'Malley. Rescreen for Coy Alves. Stevens operating with 4 on the shot clock. Andretti, there's the feed. Somehow, no? Nagawan pa nila ng paraan.
Yeah, yun ang maganda din kay Andretti because of his, he's got really good upper body strength, so that kahit makipagbanggaan siya sa loob, even on a dribble penetrating, he can actually control himself. But in here, simply just finding that guy in the corner, and John Luca O'Malley just making it out there.
I really love the fact that he's named as... Oh, sorry, he's not named Luca. He just gave him that nickname. Kasi Luka Doncic talaga yung laro niya, no?
Yeah.
Luka shoes, Luka number, 3-point shooting pa. Although he's not a point guard.
Right.
Much like Luka is.
Well, he's got to play more Luka on his outside shots today if they want to go home with a win.
21-point deficit for Paranaque off of the free throws.
9-point of the game too.
3-pointer here, no good for the Patriots. one of their veterans, by the way, Alwin Manalang. He used to play for Perpetual before. Medyo matagal-tagal na yun, no? Even before Scotty Thompson, by the way.
Yep.
Boy Alves to Ryusei Koga.
Wow.
Ang galing ni Alwin doon. He totally knew what he was doing.
Right. He just sold it.
Natatawa si Ryusei ngayon, no? Alam niyang naisahan.
He actually had one extra step before he got to Alves,
Yeah.
but you know he didn't go to that step. He just flew right into Alves. So I didn't get that extra step, so that's a foul.
Good job for Tito Alwin Manalang. Here's Keith Pido. On to Alwin. Back to Keith against that zone. John Umali, catch and fire. Now he just missed again. That might not be a good sign. But as we know, shooters will continue shooting.
Right. But I guess more importantly, the offensive rebounding needs to be in there for Paranaque Patriots. They can't allow just a one and done each time down on the floor offensively.
Koga will go to Alano. That's a shot. Just off for Justin. And way off target, by the way. Very uncharacteristic. Pido operating up top, using the screen. He needs a teammate. There's Solis mid-range. Yes.
J-Boy Solis out in that elbow is almost always automatic. That's where he makes his living. Even on the triangle offense side, he loves that pinch post action. That's where he normally would operate in. So for you to get him lifting on that side of the floor and able to take that shot, that's almost guaranteed 2 points.
56-37 now. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Andretti Stevens. That's his third three-pointer in this game.
I have not seen a game that Andretti Stevens has been hot, at least for the games that I've covered in the three-point region so far. He's made 3 in this game.
And that's 3 out of 5, as Manalang could not answer back. He did mention this might just be a dedication game for Andretti himself. Let's see what he can do for his dad. Andretti Stevens, top of the key. Short. Could have been a good one.
Yeah, looked good too.
Because if he wants this to be a dedication game, to make it sweeter, maganda nga sana kung best player siya.
Yeah.
Eh, medyo malayo-layo ang kanyang hahabulin dahil maganda pinapakita ni Don Mark.
Yeah.
And so, as our mop boy does his job, Keith Pido proceeds to the stripe and Puroy Kantimbuhan will return for Andretti Stevens.
Importante rin lang dito kay Andretti, kailangan he has to be staying on the floor and stay away from fouls. Medyo prone din kasi sa foul minsan. But I guess that's part of how he plays defensively.
Oh yes, it really is a part of his DNA. I would even argue he's one of the most, if not the most physical guard defender in the whole of the Mpbl. Keith Pido also applies in that category. But Keith is not as physical as Andretti, that's for sure. Oh, Justin Alano goes all the way for 2.
Ganda ng gather, ganda ng drop. And really just strong to the finish, waited for that contact, which didn't happen. And he was almost ready. Look at this one. This action normally should be on the side of Paranaque. That's how they beat the press from the backcourt using the triangle offense.
Then again, there has been a lot of irony in this game. Bacolod leads by 23 now. Alano's bonus is good. Bit of a revenge game as well for him against this former team. John Umali taking right. There's the pull-up. No good. Duba was there, but no putback for him.
One of the rare times that they get an offensive rebound, and they just couldn't convert that too.
Koga will go to Matiliano. Now the ball is with Mark Sarangay. Nice spin, Sarangay. There's the pass. Matiliano fades. Short. Pido. After the survey, he gets it back. Keith Pido from the left wing. Too strong.
And both of those shots continue to be a struggle para sa Paranaque. So far, they're shooting still 35% from the field.
At baliktad yung numero sa Bacolod at 53%.
Yeah.
Koga looking for Sarangay. There's the feed. Mark fakes. No foul.
Good defense right there by Martel. Just keeping that hand up and waiting for that shot to go up in the air.
Kabila. Carl Baclay got fouled on the closeout by Justin Alano.
Justin really just lost momentum right there. He tried to put a stop on that footstep. It couldn't, and so he hit the arm off at si Baclay.
Chris Menges checks in. Joshua Galliano, same goes for him. Carl Baclay proceeds to the stripe. Some whistles being blown here. Wonder what that was about. So nothing seemed to have happened. This is the last free throw for Baclay. Not sure if I heard a whistle or a shoe.
I think it's a shoe.
It's a shoe, no?
Right, it's a shoe.
Ano tawag dun? Yung
makapit yung ano. Ibig sabihin nun, original lahat sa pass.
siguro naman. Oh, by the way, if I may take this time to emphasize a bit on that, I hope no one is encouraged to play with fake shoes.
Right.
Because it's for your health. More than the style, kung mailulusot mo man yan, no, as Baclay misses inside. Because at the end of the day, the cushion is different.
Yeah.
And so, the way you step, it has an effect on your knees, on your feet, on your legs, as Galliano scores. Kung bata ka kasi, hindi mo mapapansin yun eh. But I myself fell victim to that, Coach Mike. At some point, I was playing with running shoes. And I injured my knees because of that.
Right. You have to have the right shoe for the right sport. And yung katulad nga sinabi mo, napaka-importante niyan. Because again, you have to go back that the game is played 100% on your feet. So you have to have enough protection and the right gear when you play your sport.
Alam mo kung medyo maarte ka pa nga, even the footing that you have, it fits certain shoes.
Yeah.
May mga brand kang iiwasan, may mga brand kang hahabulin, as John Uduba scores inside.
So far, a little run here for Paranaque. Trying to wake up here and pressing a little bit from the backcourt.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the third.
Now this is going to be an important 3-minute part of the third quarter here for Paranaque.
6 on the shot clock for Kantimbuhan. Nice fakes. Sorry, pass though. 24 seconds tayo. Substitutions din. Assistant coach Philip De La Cruz is on the court with AJ Hunsay, joining John Uduba, Joshua Galliano, and John Umali. Galliano will shoot and score.
Yeah, they got to get more of that. Less time and converting immediately if you want to catch up. You got to score in the least amount of time that you spend offensively.
Galliano is now 4 out of 10 from the field. He is supposedly number 7 in the league in field goal shooting at 55% efficiency. So he still is below his season average. Sorry, let me check that. It's 2-point field goal efficiency for Joshua Galliano, and his 2-point shooting is at 2 out of 8. So definitely below average. Pero yeah, 3-pointer yan. Okay, Josh.
And I like that it's a step through 3. Para dito kay Joshua Galliano, that should start things going for him. And even, you know, Umali's got to get himself going too.
Ooh, not a good pass. And the ball will sail out of bounds.
Well, initially, pag nakita mo si Mark Sarangay, once he goes to the post, it's always single coverage. But there's always a help side na nakaabang, lalo na in the middle slot. Because they know how that ball's gonna be defended once he uses the baseline instead of going middle.
And Paranaque has been playing zone as well, right?
Right.
John Umali with a kick out. Coach Philip will fire. That is good for Mr. De La Cruz. Yeah, Coach, go ahead.
So far, I was going to say that's another 3-pointer for Paranaque. I think that's the 3rd already in this quarter.
But obviously, not the same in terms of tally from downtown compared to Bacolod.
Right.
I was about to say, Coach Philip actually had a funny sequence or a funny conversation with his teammates before this game. parang halos mag-aaway na nga sila kanina eh. I think he was arguing na ako naman titira ngayon. Kasi madalas naman, ako yung namamasa sa inyo. And so, here he is, taking this shot for himself. And he drains it from downtown.
And he did not disappoint.
Oo.
Importante, doon pumasok.
Again, in terms of context, mukhang marami pa tayong na-miss out doon sa conversation na yan. But the point is, it was a funny conversation between him and his teammates as a charge was called on Alfred Cedillo. The lead is 13, by the way. This is relatively good already for Paranaque.
Yeah, it is a good quarter for Paranaque. Right now, they've scored 20, the most they've scored so far out of the 3 quarters. 20 versus 12 in this quarter for Bacolod, but Bacolod still with that 13-point lead. A little bit more manageable here for Paranaque, especially as you head on the final minute of this quarter.
That was just a correction on the foul. And yes, it was on Alfred.
Now this is going to be an important set here para sa Paranaque. If they could cut this lead to a single digit.
Here's Philip. De La Cruz surveys and passes. O'Malley catches and fires. In and out. No foul on the rebound sequence. There's the recovery. Basket and one for AJ Hunsay.
Yeah, that's the value that you get out of AJ. We talked about this earlier, how active he is on post action. Exactly what he's shown us in that last one. Offensive rebounds, controlling it, getting that tip. Favorite move of spin going middle. That lucky roll. That ball goes inside.
Kita nyo naman sa likod, tuwang-tuwa ang Tita Squad natin. In yellow, as usual. By the way, those are not just random yellow uniforms. Nagpatahi pa sila.
Wow.
Yes, that's customized. Yung mga suot ng Tita Squad natin. That's how passionate they have been. 44 seconds remaining in the third. John Cantimbuhan, no foul. Turnover.
Well, things starting to slow down here for Bacolod. Definitely in this third quarter. They're getting outscored by 10, 22, and 12. Right now, it's just an 11-point deficit staring Paranaque. They got a good chance here.
62-51, 34 seconds remaining in the third. De La Cruz, nice speed. Galliano will finish.
And again, that back end of that zone's been free. Nobody manning that last guy inside the offensive shaded area. And little brush screen here from the top. Mark got very busy with that drive, and they totally forgot about Joshua cutting from the back.
Yan ang sinasabi ni Philip sa kanyang teammates. Pinapasahan ko naman kayo eh. So take turns lang tayo dito. Joshua Galliano has now come alive in the third frame. 62-53. Babalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, as we are inside the West Arena in Valenzuela City. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach Mike Perez for Paranaque versus Bacolod. Paranaque has created so much chaos now after scoring 24 in the initial minutes of the third, but right now we're about to end it. Now there's a foul on Galliano. Ooh, penalty na. At 4 fouls na si Joshua Galliano.
Yeah, that's it, even the bigger hit right there. I was going to say they took out the comfort and comfortable so far for Bacolod, but you know, fouling at half court with that much time left to end the quarter, and you get your fourth, medyo black eye yun para sa Paranaque.
Good thing for them is Cantimbuhan missing his first free throw. So Bacolod is now 10 out of 12 from the stripe. Second one, wala pa rin. What a rebound that was. courtesy of Chris Menges, who got fouled again. So that's 2 more free throws.
Yeah, and they've given them more chances to further up this lead.
It's on Clarence Singh. And it's Menges' turn to proceed to the stripe.
You know, one other guy in the guard rotation of Paranaque that I'm sure they're missing is the son of Coach Mike, si Dwight. Dwight's been, you know, one of the focal points offensively from a guard perspective nitong Paranaque.
Pero previous years pa yun, di ba?
Yeah.
Wala naman siya this season.
Yeah, wala siya.
We do miss Dwight though. 7 seconds here. Galliano fakes right, drives and kicks. Singh to Umali, off to the left. What a rebound. Nice putback by AJ Hunsai.
Well, you talk about the timing of AJ Hunsai really just making things good here for Paranaque towards the end of the 3rd quarter.
That puts him up to 6 points and 3 rebounds already in this game. A badly needed basket on the back door by AJ Hunsai. Timing it perfectly to the delight of the Tita squad, among others wearing yellow. So the 3rd quarter barrage will continue on a good note. Actually, sorry, it will end on a good note. Let's see if they can carry on the momentum in the 4th frame. 63-55 after 3. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fan of the game, just like the Avenis. Do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenis. Oras na para magmotor. At bagay na bagay, no? Naka-uniform pa. Ang ating winner at the sideline. Folks, we thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach Mike Perez here in Valenzuela for Bacolod versus Paranaque. And again, that monstrous 3rd frame of Paranaque just gave Mark Sarangay and Ryusei Koga a big scare, and that will continue here in the 4th. But now, let's take this time to welcome back our very own, the OG courtside reporter of the Mpbl, Gianna Llanes, with her first report.
Thanks for that intro, Migs. As you guys can see, ito nga ang huling laro ng Bacolod sa season na ito. So gustong-gusto talaga nila na positibo ang pagkatapos ng season nila. I don't know if you guys noticed, but yung players ng Bacolod yung unang dumating sa venue kanina dahil walang ulan daw ang makakapigil sa disiplina nila. Ang parehong disiplina na pinapakita nila sa depensa dahil pinaghandaan talaga nila ang triangle offense ng Paranaque Patriots. At kahit wala daw si Reggie Boy Basibas ngayon dahil sa isang sprained ankle, they're gonna enjoy this 4th quarter as a memory of their strengthened bond throughout the season. Hindi nila alam kung ano ang nakatakda para sa kupunan nila for next season. So this is their last hurrah. Back to you guys.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we would like to call a welcome back report for Gianna Llanes. Job well done, Gianna. Boy, the information that she gave us, that's really nice, as AJ Hunsai makes a 3-pointer to the delight of the Paranaque crowd. But going back to Gianna's report, yes, they were one of the first ones to arrive in this venue. And it's actually important to notice that, as Paranaque is really upset with the previous foul call, because Bacolod is coming from the south.
Right.
And as we know, the traffic is in the middle of EDSA, which means on the way yun sa Bacolod team. Actually, pwede mo nga rin i-argue yun para sa
Paranaque, right.
And so, yes, we also saw the adjustments of Bacolod. You saw that in the first half, especially countering the offense of Paranaque. But now, as we get to see this quarter scoring, ano naman yung nakikita mo sa Paranaque side that's countering what Bacolod has been showing them here in the second half?
Well, I think they're moving the ball so much better, and lalo na when it started with that made 3 by Umali early on and really started everything on the right track for Paranaque. And Alex Unsay, so far after that May 3, he already scored what? The last 7 points of Paranaque, and leading up to that 23-point outing, or 26-point outing rather, in the third quarter.
You know, this is looking like AJ Hunsay's best game of the season so far. And here he is once more, top of the key. Could have been big. Rebound to Alves, and now the ball is with Matiliano.
Oh yeah, but if you're Coach Mike Sagigit, you like the bounce on your players right now. You feel that they're definitely in this game.
I like how you described it. The bounce, the way they're moving. 63-57. Puroy Cantimbuhan. That's a two-pointer off to the left. Rebound Solis. Remember, Paranaque trailed by as many as 25 points in this game. Keith Pido will drive and kick. Big time three-pointer here. That is good for Clarence Singh.
And so far, really, that's what brought back, apart from the defense of Paranaque, is that drive and kick offensive set. How many times have we seen that in the third quarter, and it's continuing here in the fourth?
Things have also normalized in terms of field goal shooting. Both teams nearing the 45% clip. Now Alves has an answer for Bacolod.
Yeah, and you could also argue maybe in the third quarter, it was a slower quarter for Mark Sarangay, who had, what, 14 points in that first half. And so far, the touches have been not so much as dominant as it was in the first half for Mark. And so if you're Bacolod, why not go back to where it started from? Start up with Mark.
Well, this was the previous sequence. Puroy Cantimbuhan able to save that ball and give it up to the trailer, that is Koy Alves. But to your point, let's see if they can activate Mark Sarangay in the next sequences. Pido to Solis, nice feed. Martel with a couple of fakes. 3 on the shot clock. Hunsay, that's a two-pointer. Short. Ball tap, no more recovery.
But you like how they're executing offensively. Speaking of Paranaque, you see Coach Mike Sagigit there telling him to go into that motion set, which I guess really is a tweak of the triangle where he drew in that drive and kick action.
Or do you think the tweaks have been necessary because of what Gianna mentioned, na pinaghandaan talaga ng Bacolod ang sistema ng Paranaque?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, definitely a seasoned coach and Coach Mike Sagigit would see the tendencies that's been implored on them in this game, especially after 3 quarters. And that latter half of the third quarter, you see changes in there para kay Coach Mike, and just enough to build the momentum heading into this fourth.
You have a couple of subs here. Let's just name the players on the court. It's Keith Pido with J-Boy Solis, John Aduba, Luca Umali, and Philip De La Cruz for Paranaque. And then we have Puroy Cantimbuhan, Domark Matiliano, Mark Sarangay, Ryusei Koga, and Koy Alves for Bacolod.
So far, defense been working here for Paranaque. They're actually allowing opponents to score 81 points in most of their games. And, you know, limiting to 13 points itong Bacolod could be a start of something here defensively para sa Patriots.
Cantimbuhan will step back.
Ooh.
Nice. That was against J-Boy Solis, by the way.
That's better offense even. J-Boy was there all throughout to challenge that shot. Didn't make it an easy shot for him, but still was able to make it over that length.
67-60. Now there's a push. It's on Koy Alves. See what happened on the step back by Puroy Cantimbuhan. This guy also worked a lot on his shooting because we're so used to seeing him driving with that ball.
Right. Kaya kanina in defense, yung primary defense went under because they're not so used to him shooting from the outside. And so once J-Boy came in, he was actually challenging it, but he really just made that shot.
And syempre late na rin yun kasi nag-switch yung depensa.
Right.
Sideline for Philip De La Cruz. Here's Keith Pido. There's the triangle set. John Aduba holding on to Mark Sarangay.
Well, this is actually the matchup that Mark Sarangay likes. He likes going up, at least in this game, against John Aduba.
Oh, he was surprised. He thought that the foul was on Aduba.
Yeah, it sure looked from our vantage point that foul could have been on Aduba, as he had that right hand rather, trying to impede the defensive stop.
Oh yeah, I tell you, if our cameraman caught that face of Mark Sarangay and we put that in slow-mo, that's a bit entertaining to watch. Right. He was so surprised. Umali onto Solis. 4 on the shot clock. De La Cruz fakes. Oh, what a pass. On to Solis. And that's a shot clock violation.
Well, one of the reasons also, I guess, that Paranaque has gone straight into the triangle action is Bacolod actually playing man right now. And so you see those open spots on the floor getting freed up, enough for them to execute the triangle sets.
I have to say, it was really weird watching the first 3 quarters, not having witnessed the usual sets ng Paranaque. Kasi na-identify mo na yan eh. There's the lob, stolen away. That ball was, and here comes Keith Pido. Keith surveying, then he got fouled.
Yeah, surveying he did. He tried to stop at the 15-foot line, trying to survey. He's got shooters in the corners and on the wing. Since he doesn't have any, and that left side was free for him to take, he just went in, changed the pace, changed the direction, and he got fouled.
And personally, I'm very happy that Pido can do that in a very fast manner. Because some point guards tend to just survey and survey.
Yeah.
And then they won't have any threat in scoring. Not the same case there for not JJ Pido. That's Keith Pido. JJ's his cousin who plays for Rizal. Second one is good for Keith. He is the reigning best player of Paranaque when they defeated Val City in this venue. 67-62. Under 6 minutes in the fourth. That's a foul. Not a good reach by John.
Yeah, and that's twice already we've seen a foul being given from the backcourt. The other one being Joshua Galliano when he got his fourth this time around. O'Malley trying to stop Matiliano, trying to beat him on the sideline. You get beat on the sideline, that's okay. Just got to go back and stay in front of him.
Matiliano inbounding to Kantimbuhan. He's being defended by Coach Philip De La Cruz. Here's Puroy. Out of time here, 18 on the shot clock. Kantimbuhan rejected the screen. He then attacked, and that's going to count. 2+1 for Puroy Kantimbuhan.
Well, right through contact right there for Puroy. See that once again. A little spin going the other side of the floor. See, it matters that you have a really good vision if you're a point guard. He saw that 3 guys were already on that side of the floor. So he says, I'm going to take the other side. Go this way.
And Kantimbuhan loves to spin, by the way. And it's usually from left to right. Maraming ganun eh, no? Encho Serrano, left to right yung spin. 4 points in this game for Mr. Kantimbuhan. Make that 5 now. And Chris Menges will check in now alongside Joshua Galliano. Galliano, by the way, will be playing with 4 fouls. It's himself and Leon Martel who are in foul trouble. Mark Sarangay, on the other hand, has 4 as well for Bacolod. Galliano against Menges. Pido now to Uduba. Again, there's the usual set. John O'Malley misfires. Ball tap in favor of Bacolod. So somehow, Coach Mike, itong Bacolod, laging may sagot, no?
Yeah, and yun naman ang importante dyan. Kailangan may sagot ka. You know, this is a game of runs. And so if somebody makes a run, you have to be able to respond accordingly.
Koga will inbound. 5 minutes and 16 for the first game of your Mpbl Saturday. But again, a reminder to everyone, please stay safe. Make sure that you are healthy before you even prioritize basketball again. Later on, it will be Makati versus Batangas, followed by Valenzuela versus Bulacan. Sarangay, no basket, rebound to Duba. Nagagawa na ba nila yung binibigay kay Mark and he's the one operating?
I think I've seen that twice already in this quarter. But in the third, halos wala. It's always been Mark, katulad niya, sariling sikap, getting that ball. And that's, I think, Matiliano's also been silent so far after hitting, what, 4 threes in the first half. He's been pretty silent in this half.
Actually, he had 14 in the first half. And then he scored the first 2 baskets in the third. After that, he's been scoreless.
Yeah, that was it.
There's a challenge on the court on the previous sequence involving Mark Sarangay and a couple of white shirts. There's the yellow light. Ang ganda ng epekto ng yellow light dito sa Valenzuela, by the way.
Oh,
because it's a bit dark, so it's like some spotlight on to Miguel Pere, who's giving us some eye contact right now. I hope you're I hope you recognize that we're talking about you right now, Miguel.
Right. Ganda ng lighting sa'yo, Miguel.
Sabi nga medyo nakakatuling daw.
Sobrang liwanag. You know the feeling of parang may spotlight na tinutok sa'yo.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, as a host, I know about that. It's not easy. Umabot sa punto na ilaw na lang yung nakikita mo. But you have to smile.
The challenge was successful. Ball possession goes to Paranaque Patriots.
So the challenge was successful on the out-of-bounds sequence. Ball possession is favoring Paranaque's way. Ayun, tumama sa ulo ni Mark.
Hit the face of Mark, yeah.
That's why Mark also had an argument, hindi naman argument, but he tried to plead his case. Unfortunately, you can't plead your case if the ball hit you. Ano mo mangyayari doon?
Galing ng depensa ng Bacolod sa baseline out of bounds na yun. Inapangan nila si Galliano would come up with that exit corner action.
Josh trying to post up, turn around. He was fouled by Alano.
Yeah. That was a foul on Alano, but it was a good stop too. As he tried to anticipate that corner exit again by Joshua after inbounding that ball from the baseline.
2 free throws for Joshua Galliano, who has 13 points in this game. First one is good.
Yeah, opportunity to make this a 6-point deficit na lang para sa Paranaque.
And that has been their problem ever since trimming down the lead from 25. Nandito na tayo sa 3-possession ball game, 4-possession ball game.
Biglang re-responde yung Bacolod.
Back and forth na lang. This is relatively very good already for Paranaque in terms of the deficit that they're facing. 4 minutes and 20. Matiliano, the kick out. There's Alano, Justin Stern, basket and one. Right on cue.
Justin's been really good here para sa Bacolod. I mean, he recognized on that drive when he lost that ball that, you know, there's going to be 2 guys on that spot, and so he freed that up. Just went straight to the rack.
Not the best defense as well from John O'Malley. He was totally lost.
Even the help of J-Boy Solis was late too.
That's a 3-point play converted by Justin Alano, who now has 8 points as Kantimbuhan returns. Again, this is the last hurrah for Bacolod in the season.
Lalim rin ang guard rotation ng Bacolod, eh, no?
Sa lagay na yan, bawas na sila. Wala nang Valchao kayat.
Bad pass right there. Miscommunication between J-Boy and, was that Joshua? Galliano?
Kantimbuhan inbounding. Full court man-to-man. Here's Matiliano. Domart on the horns play. 13 on the shot clock. Matiliano, no good. And here comes JJ. Sorry, that's Keith Pido. Pido on the drive. No conversion. And then, looks like Galliano slipped. That caused his head to hit the ground. And again, that might just mean concussion protocol for Galliano.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see the replay, though.
Not sure if it was a slip or he fell on Pido.
The Bacolod players are actually arguing for a travel. See what happened here. Ay, baka yun yung travel na nilalaban nila.
Yeah.
On Keith Pido. And then, let's see what happened.
Oh yeah, he slipped. Okay.
Then there's the head. Actually, mas nakakatulong pa sana kung katamaan niya yung paa ni Mark Sarangay. Kasi at least rubber shoes yung landing mo.
Right.
But Galliano looks to be okay. Medyo namumula lang ng onte. Pero okay naman siya. Galliano has gotten his groove since the second half after struggling drastically in the first 2 quarters. Another 3.5 minutes. Kantimbuhan, there's a screen by Alano. Puroy, stepping back. Tough shot, he makes it.
Wow, he's been playing just exceptional from outside here. And normally you see him on dribble penetrations, but those shots from the outside.
The lead is 11. Make that 8 after the three-pointer. A much-needed three-pointer from John Umali.
That time around, Puroy was a little bit late getting to John O'Malley on that straight three from the top.
That's 3 three-pointers now for Umali in this game, but he's only 3 out of 14 from the field.
Importanteng depensa ito para sa Patriots. They're down 8.
Koga, that's a good look. Top of the key, short. Ball out of bounds in favor of the white shirts. At the timeout dito, si Coach Mike Sagigit. Just to be sure that they will be able to make the most out of the next possession with 2 minutes and 40 remaining. Score is 75-67. We'll be back. Let's talk about Keith Pido, not JJ Pido. It's Keith for Paranaque. Against Valenzuela, he was the best player with 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists with 2 steals. Gianna Llanes has a story for us about Keith himself. Gianna, go ahead.
Yes, Migs and Coach Mike. I know you guys missed my player reports too, so here's one on Paranaque's Keith Pido. When he's not playing basketball, mapapansin nyo lagi siyang nakangiti. At itong disposition ang nakuha daw niya sa kuya niya na basketball player din. Maliban sa kuya niya, isa pa niyang idol ay si Scottie Thompson. Sabi niya na sa malapitan niya nakita maglaro si Scottie na naging teammate ng kuya niya. So dito daw siya naging inspired maging pro player din. Back to you guys.
So, his kuya was a player of Perpetual as well? You know about that?
Not so sure.
Because Keith himself came from Perpetual. At kung teammate ng kuya niya si Scottie, then most likely Perpetual din yung kuya niya. We just saw a basket, by the way, from Paranaque off of a timeout.
Yeah, good execution against that press. Again, that was a press break designed for a triangle offense team.
75-69, 2 minutes and 10. Puroy Cantimbuhan back at it again against John Umali. Now they go to Domark Matiliano against that zone of Paranaque. Couple of swings. No on the shot clock. That's a turnover. Galliano on the run. There's Keith on the right side. Nice tap by Matiliano. Josh recovers. Martel gives it back. An all-important three. That's no good.
Well, that was a good shot though by Galliano. Hit one from earlier, and that's pretty much his area. Now you got to get a stop here if you're Paranaque.
6-point game. 92 seconds to go. This is the last game of Bacolod in this season. Matiliano, step back three. In and out. Rebound, Keith Pido. Forward pass. Great recovery by Matiliano. Inside. That's 2 points for Galliano, and the lead is 4.
Yeah, 2-possession game still here. 4-point difference between these two teams.
A minute and 13. Cantimbuhan breaking down the defense. Let's see what he can do against this zone of Paranaque. Is this a man-to-man now?
Yeah, they're sticking to man here.
Switch though. Cantimbuhan on the cross. 5 on the shot clock. Kick out. Nice pass. Koga for 3. Short. There's one guy ahead. 50 seconds to go. Galliano. Paranaque is down by 4. Kick out. Solis. Umali to cut the lead. Short. That could have been really big.
Yeah, that could have been big. And he was free when he took that shot.
33 seconds.
Got a foul now.
The differential is 15. And Pido just gave up that foul. Which means free throws for Puroy Cantimbuhan.
Puroy actually had a good kick out to Yusei Koga on that opposite wing. Yusei just missed it. Thankfully, empty possession din para sa Paranaque on the other side.
Actually, I was about to say, we just saw a lot of good looks.
Right.
From both ends.
Correct.
Just no conversions as Cantimbuhan makes his first.
Tsaka yung mga tumira ng threes, legit na talaga
Shooters talaga.
Shooters talaga eh.
Second one for Cantimbuhan. By the way, he's been in this situation already before. Having shot free throws in the clutch. Second one is good, 2 out of 2 for Mr. Kantimbuhan. The lead is 6 with 29 seconds remaining. Timeout situation. Isa para sa Paranaque, dalawa para sa Bacolod. We'll take a short break. Coach Mike, for a premium experience and an exceptional stay. Oh, I would like to invite Gian and Llanes to this. Boracay de la Ia, that's a good sight to see. Gusto nyong bisitahin ni Vince. That is the official hotel and resort of the Mpbl. And there you see the Makati Kings, who, by the way, they have a new jersey. And that is really nice. I personally like it.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Bagay kay Eman Calo.
Oh, this is the first time that they're using it? Ngayon pa lang, no?
I think so. This is the first time that I've seen it. They will be taking on Batangas later on. Galliano in trouble. Three-pointer for Solis, too strong. Recovery here, 15 seconds. Another three, same angle, same result, and that should do it. And so, the Bacolod City of Smiles came into the venue very early, as reported by Gian and Llanes. Obviously, they did so much in terms of the preparation to neutralize the triangle offense of Coach Mike Sagigit. There was a scare, especially in the second half from the Patriots, but Bacolod holds on.
Yeah, and very, very good start actually, especially those bench contributions para dito sa Bacolod. They look very fluid. Domark Matiliano was actually hitting his shots from the outside, and Mark came in, controlled everything from the big man standpoint, and everything just flowed in there. They had that composure to go against the onslaught of Paranaque and able to survive that.
And so big shout outs to John Kantimbuhan, who made crucial baskets and free throws as well. Mark Sarangay, who had 8 points and 9 rebounds. But Domark Matiliano is our best player of the game, finishing with 18, 5 boards and 3 dimes as well. He was quiet in the last 2 frames, but what he did in the first half was well enough for Bacolod to create a huge margin. This will be the last time that we will see Domark Matiliano on the screen, at least for the season. And he is now with Gianna Llanes.
Congratulations to you, Domark. 18 points para maganda nga ang katapusan ng koponan nyo for this season. Paano nakatulong na gusto nyo talaga na maganda ang pagkatapos ng season nyo?
Ayun, sabi lang namin, sabi nila coach, kailangan matapos namin ng maganda tong laro namin, tong season na to para pag nag-iwalay kami, ayun pa rin, maganda yung exposure sa isa't isa.
At Domark, pangatlong best player mo ito this season. Talagang nag-increase yung confidence mo throughout the season. Ano magiging mensahe mo sa coaches mo, sa mga teammates mo na nakatulong sa'yo?
Ayun, syempre, yung mga pinapagawa nila sa akin, ginagawa ko lang din. Syempre, di mawawala din yung extra work. Tapos yung mga before training, syempre, yung mga payo nila, layo naman sinusunod din. Dinadagdagan ko na lang.
I'm sure maraming proud na proud sa'yo. Sino ang gusto mong pasalamatan?
Siyempre, unang-una kay Lord, nagpapasalamat kami sa panalo binigay niya sa amin. Salamat sa mga sumusuporta, sa coaches namin, kay Coach Vinci, kay Coach Pelot, kay Boss Ross, sa mga teammates ko, kay RB, happy birthday sa'yo. Sa family ko, nanonood sila sa bahay, sa Matiliano family, Ligario family, sa Berondo family, Chris family, sa girlfriend ko, sa lola ko, may sakit, sana pagaling na siya. Sa mga taga-say Las Piñas, sa mga taga-Timog, taga-Palawan, say Ballers, Boss Dilon TV, ayun, yun lang. Thank you.
Maraming salamat and congratulations, Domark Matiliano from Bacolod. Back to you, Mix and Coach Mike.
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Sir Mark Israel for giving us the information that is Domark Matiliano's third best player of the game award in this season. Shout out to Sir Mark, shout out to Domark, and shout out to Bacolod. Job well done for them for their journey in the 5th season of the Mpbl. Thank you for joining us. For Gianna Llanes and Coach Mike Perez, my name is Mix Gomez. At ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.